please note that this report contains testimony of a sexual nature that may be upsetting to some viewers. The credibility of Judges Secretary Andiswa Mengo's version of events in the first ever sexual harassment probe against Eastern Cape Judge President Selby Mbenenge remains in the spotlight at the Judicial Conduct Tribunal. This as counsel on behalf of the top judge have charged during cross-examination that Mengo elected to omit certain information from her January 2023 complaint, focusing on the alleged sexual references in the exchanges between Mbenenge and Mengo. Advocate Muzi Sikhakhane SC questions why she writes that Mbenenge sent her an image of a peeled banana which she understood as a sexual reference, but elected not to add that she sent laughing emojis in response. Sikhakhane SC contends that this is misleading, but Mengo disagrees.
In fact, it's quite important what you do not write in your complaint. You write it as 3 dots. You are omitting that you sent laughing emojis.
Phofu ibalulekile ukuthi uyikhankanyile yokuba ubhalwe kunamachaphaza amathathu pha awayichaza le yaba nodolazana abahlekayo abavelayo apha.
Ewe.
Yes.
As I said to you yesterday, and I've said it this morning, in writing this complaint, you omitted those messages from you that were salacious or do not support your theory.
Njengoba bendichilo ke izolo into yokuba wena ukhethe ukungayifaka okanye ukhethe ukuyilibala lento yale imiyalezo yakho enempembelelo yokuncokola ngezinto zesondo ezisuka kuwe ukhethe ukuzishiyelela ungazifaki.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you agree with me that that is misleading?
Uyavumelana nami na okokuba lo nto leyo oyenzileyo iyalahlekisa?
Andizukunqinela.
I am not going to agree with you.
Well, ma'am, it's fine if you will not, but let me try and explain myself.
Kulungile ke uba uzuvumelana nami kodwa ithi ke ndizicacise.
Is that the line you write as your complaint does not fully capture the conversation about the banana?
Indlela leyo oyibhala ngayo lento ubuyikhalazela eyokuthi ungabhali ngokupheleleyo mayelana nalomcimbi welibhanana.
Indlela endiyibhale ngayo.
That is the manner in which I wrote it.
It's fine. So
Kulungile.
the person reading this who receives your complaint
Umuntu ofunda lento ke kanye lo oye wamkela isikhalazo sakho.
Ewe.
Yes.
only knows that the respondent sent you a banana, which is a graphic image, as you guys say.
Phela kwento ayaziyo ke lo besamkela isikhalazo sakho wazi into kokuba urespondent lo ukuthumelele umfanekiso webanana. Ibe into ezeke njengoba nina xa niyicacisa. Kodwa yena lo wazi into bakuthunyelwe umfanekiso webanana.
Ewe.
Yes.
He or she will not know that you send laughing emojis.
Yena lowo nobubhinqile nobuyindoda akazoyazi into kokuba wena uye wathumelela nodolazana abakikithekayo abahlekayo.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, well, for more on the case, I'm joined by SABC News reporter Kani Mpanga, who's been covering the tribunal for us. Very good afternoon to you, Kani. So the advocate, Sikhakhane, there really pushing this issue of Andiswa sending laughing emojis. Tell us more.
Good afternoon to you, Nompu, and to the viewers at home. It is indeed another tough day for Judges Secretary Andiswa Mengo. As you may know, she's under cross-examination, and the purpose of cross-examination is to really test the evidence before the tribunal. Of course, Advocate Muzi Sikhakhane SC acts on behalf of Judge President Selby Mbenenge, who vehemently denies some of the allegations especially the explicit parts of these allegations that are before the tribunal. So you can expect that those will be placed under that lens and will face that kind of scrutiny that you have been seeing this morning by Advocate Muzi Sikhakhane SC. So of course the complaint is quite a bone of contention for counsel for the respondent. They're stating that the initial complaint that she would have made, that would have been assessed by the JCC, did not include responses, and they charged that this was for a purpose that would achieve the panel viewing Judge Mbenenge as the bad guy while viewing her as the victim. Sikhakhane SC argues before the tribunal that it was quite misleading in reference to that clip that you just played about the message that had the peeled banana, which Mengo understood to be a sexual reference, and she testified that she understood it to be a sexual reference. She has stated that she received the message that way. However, in her complaint, it is stated before the tribunal that she put 3 dots after that particular line, but did not add that there were emojis in response to that. So we have Sikhakhane SC arguing that this is misleading to the JCC panel, who would have maybe viewed it differently had they had the full context regarding that banana. But of course, Mengo has testified and explained her use of emojis and the manner in which she responded to these alleged sexual advances, which she argues were unwanted. She has explained that at the heart of it were the power dynamics at play, and that she felt compelled to respond in the manner that she did. Now, speaking on the nature of her responses, of course, the credibility of Mengo will be tested with respect to the conduct in the exchanges, as it is far removed from what society believes or perceives a victim to behave. That is, the exchanges where she may be perceived to be entertaining the alleged advances by the judge present. We've seen a lot of questions, or rather the Sikhakhane SC putting to the witness that where there were opportunities for her to expressly state no, those opportunities were not taken. We've seen about 3 this morning that he explained to her, but of course it negates. There's a very critical issue in sexual harassment, which is power dynamics. And then, of course, it absolves his client, Judge Mbenenge, of any responsibility and places it on her to explain her conduct or her response to the alleged conduct, and almost makes it seem as if it's inconceivable for a figure of that stature, a judge, to have the kind of discernment to know whether messages of that nature were appropriate or not. So it speaks to this overriding issue of the burden of the question or burden of evidence being shifted from the alleged perpetrator to the victim when defending cases of this nature, which speaks to why a lot of victims don't feel confident enough to come forward. And of course, this matter, which is the first ever sexual harassment probe, and the judiciary will inform whether other possible victims that may be watching right now will have the courage to come forward or not in the handling of this case, specifically in the way that Mengo is questioned and the line of questioning that she faces, and the manner in which her case is handled due to its complex nature, and that she wasn't a victim that acted according to the standard that society may perceive should have been appropriate in this manner. But of course, that's another theory that can be tested, because there is no standard for how a victim will respond. We've seen GBV cases vary according to individuals. There's no standard playbook as to how you respond. But of course, she is facing the burden of the questions as to why she responded, why she entertained it, and why she didn't expressly state no. So this case will inform a lot of these cases, should they come forward in the future, if the tribunal runs the risk of not considering those important nuances of sexual harassment in the workplace. It may run the risk of further victims not having that courage to come forward and speak about their lived experience.